After Wanda Smith got her rump roasted like a hog on 4th of July in Kansas City, Katt Williams showed up to the Atlanta Comedy Theater to show support to his friend Red Grant, who was performing at the venue, the same comedian interviewed at the local radio station where Wanda was employed. Wanda knew Katt would be there that night at the comedy venue, so she had her husband and son there. Her husband flashed a gun at Katt and chased him down to the nearby grocery store. According to Katt Williams, it was Wanda's husband who put a weapon in his face, and Wanda's husband did admit that he had a weapon, but denied putting it in his face. Katt ended up finding cover after being chased into a nearby grocery store. And even now, all these years later, I still believe Mrs. Klump should have been arrested along with Mr. Klump, both of them. Over the last week, I had people ask me why should she be arrested for her husband's actions. Well, Wanda should have also been arrested because she was the one who set the whole thing up. I'm going to show you a video and you will see how she was standing there in the doorway. Wanda had a conversation with her husband about all of this, and she wanted her husband to physically put hands on Katt Williams after she got into a roasting session and was cooked. I mean destroyed. Wanda's feelings got hurt and she sent her husband to protect her feelings.
All right, it's the People Station Viewer 3. Your hair is kind of...
That joint was...
My hair is 19 inches long and I have no perm.
You don't?
Oops.
Oh, that's not a perm.
No, it is not. Nice lady.
That's natural.
Come run one of your gnarled fingers.
Shout out.
They don't remember me for wilding out, right? I'm not the right one at Jones on.
Get this inmate out of here.
If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me down.
Whatever, little mama.
If your cholesterol is 600.
Whatever, little mama.
I'm little mama's baby daddy.
No, you little mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
and what are you, girl? You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
yes,
big
ma'am.
in prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19 felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it off. Prison and jail aren't the same. No.
Okay,
No.
Calm
No.
down. Calm down.
Only one of us has $12 worth of jewelry on. No.
No, $12.
No.
Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Won't waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
When police arrived, Lamorris Sellers told police he had a gun and it was in the waistband of his pants, but that he never put it in Williams' face.
And you guys, Sellers admitted to police that he had a gun on him, but told officers he did not point it at Williams. You'll hear more on what Wanda Smith had to say during her show coming up at 6 o'clock.
I don't know. When I was looking at him, I couldn't even respond because my mouth can go there. I got a little mouth on me, but the respect wouldn't let me do that. It wouldn't even let, I didn't know. And the things that I was saying, they were, they were weak. Yeah, because I didn't want to do it. I didn't.
Now, after all of this, Wanda was trying to tell the story a different way. She got on the radio and tried to cover for herself after the situation with Katt and her husband. That's because the police had them under investigation. But even the audience wasn't feeling what Wanda did and called her out for trying to play victim when she was wrong for escalating the situation.
Let's take a call. You're on V103. Frank and Wanda, hello.
Hi, Frank. I need to make this comment. In my opinion, Wanda's playing victim.
Okay.
We were either listening Friday morning or since then have seen the video. Wanda started that whole negative exchange when she came for his hair, his clothes. Wanda is always clowning people and for fun in the name of comedy. Katt Williams clowned her in the name of fun, in the name of comedy. It's like you can give it, but you can't take it. Katt Williams did what Katt Williams does, and he clowned her.
And I was okay with that. I wasn't upset, that he clowned me, which I said that's not my thing. I don't go back and forth, kind of like the wilding out thing. I don't know how to do that, the joning and that kind of thing. And I think, if I could go back with you just a little bit. Remember, it all started when we started talking about the food part. And he said, "What do you cook?" And I said, he said, no, it started when I said, do you cook for your boys?
It started with the hair, when you guys went back and forth with the hair. And to me, it looked like two comedians.
Right. And he was talking about my wig. And remember, we both did it.
Right. Both did it. And it was two comedians engaged in comedic banter.
Right.
But from looking at it on air, your demeanor changed, and it looked like you took it personal and got mad.
Okay.
It shouldn't have gone as far as it did, but to me it was funny.
Okay,
But
I got you, and I received that. I received
gun
that.
violence, or even the threat of gun violence, that is so petty and so unnecessary. We've got to do better.
Right. And so, you know, I know a lot of people it was just so many comments, you know, and, you know, people were like, well, how did you feel about, you know, Frank sitting there? You know, a lot of comments were that you were laughing, and, you know, I was sitting here, and honestly, to be honest with you, Frank, like it caught me totally off guard. And after it went on for a while, I did want it to end. And I know you're the person that normally would cut things off. All right, man, it's time to go. It's time. And that never happened.
No, that did happen.
What you said, you did say.
I tried to go to break like 3 times.
Right.
And y'all kept going.
Right. So okay, we played the bumper. When we played the bumper, that's when we kept going over, you know, over the bumper. And I agree. I put my part in. I did my part. I'm not saying that I didn't. I'm not playing the victim. I'm not saying that I didn't. But I think at some point I was expecting, all right, y'all, enough of that, you know, because both of us were like kids. It didn't end. And I was expecting you to, as the man of the house, to stand up and stop the kids from playing. And it never happened.
I think because, you know, honestly, truly, what happened with you and Katt is not new.
Right.
You and Sophia have done it. Other people have done it. We've had that conversation. We've gone past the bumper. We've done that before. When we're sitting in the heat of the moment and what's going on in the studio, and it was funny going back and forth, that's why I kept going. I tried to go to break a couple times, and in those exchanges, I think sometimes you would stop and then you'd say something real quick.
All right, it's the People Station V103. Your hair is kind of.
And then he'd come back, and then we'd stop, and then you say something real quick and come back, and that's why it didn't happen. Because to me, honestly, truly, you know, I'm not the comedian. I'm not gonna get on this radio and take the role as the comedian. That's not my job. But when I see 2 comedians going at it, that's the way I looked at it. It was funny. It was 2 comedians going back and forth. Yes, Katt got the best of it, but there have been times where you've gotten the best of it.
And
I don't cut you off, and I don't cut other people off. So.
Funny how this big overgrown woman all of a sudden turned into a little kid. She needed to be protected like a baby. And Frank, her co-worker, was all of a sudden the man of the house. Like, stop it. Because if you weren't so masculine trying to go toe-to-toe with the comedic giant, this wouldn't have happened. It's also crazy that when she would go toe-to-toe with other people on the show and she would win, then it wasn't a problem. Keep it going. Wanda ended up getting fired after all of this, as she should have been. But I also believe she and her husband should have been prosecuted. Fortunately for them, Katt Williams told police he didn't want to move forward with the charges, and that's why Wanda and her husband did not get in trouble. Sometime later, comedian Red Grant sat down with Comedy Hype, where he said Wanda wanted Katt to come to the radio station during his interview, but when Katt got there, she was being rude to him. According to Red, before the interview, Wanda was being nice to him, but had a different attitude with Katt.
Okay. You know, it was my interview. It wasn't Katt's interview. He wasn't even trying to go on the radio. He explained that to Wanda that morning, that he didn't want to get on the radio. She kind of like kept asking him to be on on a show, But it really started like Friday that morning when he woke me up that morning, because I was standing at his mansion, and he was like, "Red, in his beautiful Katt Williams way, it's about time to get up, Red. It's 5 a.m. I'm gonna be your Uber driver." I was like, all right. So I get up and we proceeded to go to the radio, and it was just a weird energy when Wanda came in the room. Wanda's a good person, so I don't ever want to dog her. I just think that at that time, I don't know what she was going through, but she gave me love, but she wouldn't give Katt love. She kind of like, it was weird.
Like, did they know each other prior?
I'm pretty sure they knew each other. Yes, I'm pretty sure they did. In some form, we all in the comedy business, so we all know each other's name or energy. And to me, and this is just my spirit, and if you know me in my spirit, I don't get into us being mean to one another. But I also feel like if you're gonna bring a person like Katt Williams on through my interview, at least ask him questions like, and say congratulations for winning an Emmy for Atlanta. That would be my first thing I would have said to Mr. Williams. You know, it's not many of us who have Emmy awards. Not just nominated for an Emmy, he had just been announced a winner of the Emmy award. I think it got real when Frank was trying to do a professional interview, trying to ask me about my special and a special that Katt Williams was going to direct. And, you know, people saying things, you know, little smart things, you know, out their mouth. And I knew once Katt started in, knowing the person that I know, knowing my friend, it's almost like he know me. If you go in on me, once I start, he can't stop me, you can't stop me, I can't even stop me. It was over. It was incredibly, and being the intelligent individual of comedy that Katt is, he gonna tear your up.
At the end of the day, Wanda is a dangerous, evil woman, and she's not the only one. Any woman who would set her husband up to go to prison or get his life taken over her feelings is dangerous. I see women doing this all the time. They get mad for not having their way, or their feelings are hurt. They can get ticked off by anything. Then somebody's got to get hurt to make them feel better. And it never fails. They always have a crash dummy in the form of a boyfriend, a husband, a son husband, a brother. And they expect these men to lay their lives down for them or jeopardize their freedom in situations where it's not even necessary. I've covered this so many times, like the guy in Detroit. Two brothers pulled up on him, got laid out right in the front yard, getting in their sister's business. A McDonald's worker in Brooklyn. His life was taken because a woman was so upset over their horrible customer service and called her son down there to the restaurant where he took the life of one of the guys working there. All because the girl serving his mother wouldn't give her fresh fries at the counter and laughed at her. But of course, her son didn't come there and direct that energy to the female that was being rude to his mother. Instead, he took it out on another black male that was there. A young man died over that and another is in jail. I can go on and on. I've been covering these stories for years now. And Wanda's situation isn't any different. Luckily, Katt or Wanda's husband did not lose their lives that night. And that's why when I saw this part of the viral interview, to me, it was the most important personal story that Katt Williams shared with Shannon.
You did a number on it though.
Hey.
You did a number on it. That's legendary.
No, you either believe in karma or you don't. Because I didn't even know any of the stuff that she had done to my fellow comedians until afterwards. I just know that it was a setup.
Right.
And remember, they tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes, with a real gun.
To me, this was the most important story of the interview, but most of the people covering this had no clue who Wanda Smith was. Of course, you have several people talking about it now after I pointed it out, because initially the focus was on Steve, Sed, Ricky, Ludacris, you know, all the bigger names. Even Shannon got her name mixed up with Wanda Sykes. So that just shows you the low level of name recognition that Wanda Smith had. Katt said no one cared about him almost losing his life over jokes, but if it had been anybody else, it would have been a big deal.
And the world was okay with it because it was me. Had that happened to anyone else, the world went crazy when Will smacked Chris. This is a person pulling a whole gun on a comedian in the confines of their job. It's really a weird situation.
But yeah, a man speaking on how he got set up and was about to lose his life over a roast. Nobody saw the significance of that situation because when a man is in danger, no one cares. All I can say is, black men, if you want to live and stay out of jail, stay away from Wandas. Wanda could be your dramatic sister, your mama. Hopefully you don't have Wanda as a wife, because that would mean you chose the wrong lady and there are consequences for that. But Wanda could be your daughter or your cousin. They really need to be taught not to get themselves in certain situations and certainly learn not to pressure you to protect their feelings. Being in real danger is different, and I'm talking real threats. But in any case, you still have to really know what's going on before you jump into something without knowing the whole story and the truth. And that's why so many black men are in prison or in the dirt over stuff like this. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. Let me know what you think about this. Shout out to Mark S and Dark Power. I appreciate you for your support. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.